Hi there, I'm Kimberly Record, founder of the Authentic Impact Program for Women Entrepreneurs. I help passionate, heart-centered women come out of hiding in their business and step into their confidence so that they can attract their ideal clients and make the impact they want to make. Now, before we get into this exciting mindset shift that I'm going to share with you in this video that will help you to overcome your fear of being visible for good, I want to quickly address why this is so important. Because is it possible to build your business without putting yourself out there? Absolutely. I've seen people do it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you would not be here with me watching this video right now if you didn't truly know in your heart that you're meant for more. If you didn't know that there's a confident, fully expressed woman inside of you just ready to emerge. And you also know that showing up and being visible for your audience is the single best way to connect directly with them and inspire them and ultimately attract the ideal clients that you know you can help. Because when they can't see you and feel your energy and your passion, it just makes it a whole lot harder for them to get to know, like, and trust you, which is what they need to do before they'll pay for your valuable service. So I am so glad that you're here. And I can't wait to hear how you put this new information into action so that you can really start to make the meaningful impact with your work that you are meant to make. So make sure to watch this video all the way to the end so that you don't miss any important pieces of this free training. I promise it'll be worth your time. Now, let's first talk about fear of judgment, which is what holds most women back from being visible. And where does it come from? Well, the first thing I want you to know, if you feel this way, is that you are not alone. Every single one of us can easily get caught up judging ourselves for how we don't measure up to some ideal standards that we've been led to believe we need to meet in order to be successful, or even to feel worthy. And it's almost always tied to our image. So whether you feel you're overweight, or you think you look too old or too young, or you have a gap in your teeth, or a lazy eye, or crooked eyebrows, or you don't think you have nice enough clothes, or you have some other thing about your appearance that you don't like because it doesn't fit the standards, I want you to know I've heard it all. And what you've been telling yourself about it has all been a big lie. Trust me, I have seen it time and time again, and even experienced this in my own life. There is no perfect standard to meet. It's literally an impossible goal. Just think about this for a second. All of us know women who have bone straight hair and wish they had some curl. And at the same time, we've all met those who've got the naturally curly locks and would kill for straight hair. Then there's the more typical example of curvy women who desperately want to lose weight. And yet there are others who pay tens of thousands of dollars to add curves to their boobs and their butts. And here's another fun fact. Models are some of the most insecure women on the planet. Yes, those women with the bodies and skin and hair and teeth that you admire and aspire to have, they don't feel good enough either. So now I can give you so many other examples, but you get the point here. Body image and self-image problems, they come in all shapes and sizes, and they're unique to everyone. But there is one common theme to them all. It's that the problem is never the thing that you want to change. That perceived imperfection or flaw or number on the scale, you name it. The real problem is the meaning that you give to that thing. How much you tie your value and worth into it. Now, I'm going to repeat this one more time for you because it's so important for your transformation that you get this. It's never about the thing. It's about what we make the thing mean. And unfortunately, the meaning that we give to it is usually defined by someone else's standards, not even our own. So whether you've struggled with weight your entire life, or you were told there was something wrong with you or your appearance when you were a kid, or you've had a more recent experience that's caused you to question your worth based on your image, it's all fundamentally the same. And your mindset is your path to freedom. And here's how I know that from a very personal experience. When I was 17 years old, I was rejected by a modeling agency for being overweight, even though I was only 137 pounds on almost a 5'9" frame. They told me that I couldn't weigh more than 125 pounds if I wanted to be successful. So this sent me the extremely damaging message at a very vulnerable age that my image defined my value and my worth. And what followed after that was over a decade of body weight obsession and yo-yo dieting and a relentless focus on my imperfections, even though I quit modeling. And I thought that I'd overcome all of this by the time I became a nutritionist later in life. And I had learned to nourish my body instead of punish it through dieting and deprivation, and I was helping other women do the same. But what I discovered a few years later, when I decided to bring my business online, was that my limiting beliefs about my image were quick to creep back in. The fear of rejection and criticism, especially on the World Wide Web, was overwhelming and frankly paralyzing. My self-doubt overpowered my confidence and I ended up hiding. I launched my business online, but I was nowhere to be found. I hid behind a clever company name, a nicely designed logo, a beautiful website, and social media posts with generic health and nutrition information. I didn't want to be seen at all. I even remember once spending 2 entire days recording and re-recording a 90-second video for my website, only to chicken out and never publish it. It was terrible. I deleted it from every device. And when I finally did publish a slightly less terrible video, I was still so embarrassed about it that I never wanted to draw any traffic or attention to it, which kind of defeated the point. And guess what happened? My business didn't grow. In fact, it barely got off the ground after 2 years of persistent effort. It turns out that people like to connect with people, not logos or anonymous posts. Imagine that. But I had no idea how to build the confidence to come out of hiding and truly become the face and personality of my brand. I honestly didn't even really know where my lack of confidence was coming from because I knew that I was good at my work and could truly help people. It took almost being ready to throw in the towel for me to finally get the courage to figure it out. And thankfully I did. Today, I can record a video in one take and publish it immediately, or even just hop on a live video. I don't fuss over it looking perfect or delivering a flawless speech. I just focus on being present with my message and connecting it to the needs of my audience. But how did I do this? How did I go from my embarrassing stiff zombie videos to ones that actually connect and engage? And how did I go from hiding behind this generic logo and company name to becoming the name, face, and personality of my brand? Well, I realized that there were some parallels between my previous body image struggles that I had managed to overcome and the self-image challenges that I was having with my online business. So as soon as I realized this, I began to draw from the lessons that I'd already learned and slowly apply them to my new challenge, which created a game-changing mindset shift. For starters, I recognized that everything I had built up to that point had been according to other people's standards. Kind of like how I'd spent over a decade trying to get my body to fit ideal beauty standards. I had built my entire business from my head and what I thought made sense and would get approval, rather than from my heart and my true passion. I had fallen into the familiar perfectionist trap, spending so much time and energy and money trying to get it all to look perfect to others that I lost myself and my mission and, frankly, a little bit of my soul in the process. Second of all, I recognized that I was spending way too much time looking around at what other people were doing and not enough time acknowledging and honoring my own unique gifts and strengths. Kind of like how I'd spent most of my teens and 20s admiring the figures of other women and completely dismissing any unique and beautiful qualities of my own. I'd fallen into the deadly comparison trap, and this kept me constantly questioning my value and credibility. And the third parallel I recognized was that I was beating myself up for everything that I'd done or said or tried or failed at in my business, which sent me into this self-sabotaging spiral. Kind of like when I was caught in a vicious diet cycle and beating myself up for every morsel of food I ate that didn't fit the protocol, which just led me to binge on all of the things because I'd already blown it. I'd fallen into the oh-so-common self-sabotage trap, which perpetuated these feelings of not deserving success because I couldn't even keep my commitments to myself. And these feelings were constantly guiding behaviors that sabotaged my success. So as soon as I made this connection and I recognized that I was falling into all these familiar patterns again, I was able to counter them with supportive habits that I knew from my previous experience would help me build the confidence so I could finally get unstuck. And by the way, the 3 traps I just described for you, perfectionism, comparison, and self-sabotage, these are the 3 most common traps that keep women entrepreneurs stuck in hiding. And trust me, every single one of us can easily fall into these traps. No one is immune to them. But it helps to know where they stem from so that you can begin to shift your mindset at the root of the problem. Otherwise, you'll just end up trying to conquer them by dealing only with the symptoms, which unfortunately just gets you caught up in a vicious, frustrating cycle. Now, at the root of these 3 traps is one thing: our self-worth. And here's why. Most of us have bought into an unrealistic set of standards that we measure our worth by, and the metrics are all wrong. We can easily get caught measuring ourselves by these ideal standards we've been sold for our health and beauty and professional image because we've been led to believe that our value and worth and overall happiness depends on how closely we can meet these ideals. So it's no wonder that so many women develop this debilitating fear of judgment, because if people judge us negatively for how we look, this can equate in our minds to us being less valuable and less worthy. So if you're dealing with a fear of judgment of putting yourself out there, please know that the real problem isn't that you don't fit these ideals, because trust me, no one does or ever will. The real problem is that you've unconsciously bought into these external standards that aren't realistic or even necessary to fulfill on your meaningful work and purpose. And it is not your fault. We are constantly being bombarded with messages everywhere about these ideal standards, and we're being perpetually sold solutions to meet them. So it's possible that all this time you've been trying to find a solution that helps you to better meet the standards, like trying to lose weight, or getting rid of your wrinkles or gray hair, or fixing your teeth or your skin, or spending thousands of dollars on a beautiful wardrobe or background, or even beautiful branding for your business. But none of these will help you truly step out and become visible if you don't first address the root problem. The only real solution to this problem is to establish such a strong core sense of self-worth that it allows you to set and live by your own standards for your health and beauty and success by looking within, not looking around you. When you set your own standards and you create your own vision, and then you develop the right practices to stay grounded in them as you take each step forward, you can become unstoppable, my friend. And it's as simple as that. This is the exact mindset shift that got me out of hiding in my business, and that's helped my clients to do the same. But even though it's simple, I know it's not easy to do, which is why I'm so glad that you found this video, because I have an invitation for you. If you're looking for a way to step into your full confidence and overcome fear of judgment for good, you might be a fit for my Authentic Impact program. Now, this program is a 12-week container where I help you find your own self-expression and feel confident being seen and heard and valued right now without changing a thing about your image, so that you can show up confidently as the name, face, and personality of your brand and connect authentically with your audience. And know that showing up as you is enough. You'll also be able to get on video with ease and be fully engaged and present with your audience without worrying about following a script or writing copious notes or putting on a flawless performance. And of course, you'll also be able to see yourself on video, including Zoom calls, without getting distracted, nitpicking, and criticizing what you see. So if this sounds like something you've been looking for, if you're tired of holding yourself back from doing what you know to do that could help you attract your ideal clients and grow your business and make your impact, then I want to invite you to book a free 45-minute impact breakthrough call with me to find out if you could be a fit for this program. I've included a link to find out more in the description below, which also includes a link to grab a spot in my calendar for this free call. I cannot wait to hear from you. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you soon.